He is always criticizing the terrorists and their sponsors. He's always calling out Tinubu. He calls Sheikh Ahmed Gumi a terrorist and a terrorist sympathizer. He's not afraid to call you the names that belongs to you. He is a prophet, Isa El-Buba. He is a pastor that is residing in Jos, where the death toll is rising every day, where attack on churches and individuals who belongs to Christian faith is increasing every day. But this man don't just want to start complaining and complaining and complaining. He doesn't want to be begging, maybe one day be begging president to come and rescue his church members. Or he is avoiding a situation where we wake up and say, Isa Ebuba has been kidnapped, or he has been abducted or killed by the jihadists. He's avoiding all these things. He doesn't want story at all. So he's now taking his destiny into his hand. Don't forget that 1 week ago, the Department of State Service released a letter saying that the terrorists, the Boko Haram, the jihadists, has made it a policy now to start attacking pastors and churches. Be very careful. Now, this is what Isa Buba is doing. Prophet El-Buba launches over 20 security outposts, CCTV network, deploys volunteer guards to combat crime in just north. This is what is expected from pastors, bishops, churches. This is exactly what is expected of you. Let me tell you, the terror attack will only increase in Nigeria. It will not decrease. You know the reason why? Because someone who created Boko Haram has been given a rank as a spokesperson on Tinubu's 2027 presidential campaign. So, people who are funding Boko Haram are being promoted. That is where you should understand that the country has been sold. That the country is nowhere like this country is over. Someone who created Boko Haram has been given an appointment to become one of the presidential spokesperson to Tinubu, former governor who handed over to Kashin Shettima. What is it called? Andemodu Sheriff. And you saw when he went to Chinese television, going from here to here, he's so proud. A man who created Boko Haram that Nigerian soldiers have been fighting for decades. That is an avenue or at a juncture where I always question the mentality of a black man. This thing cannot happen. In fact, so many African countries will not tolerate that. The country will end that day. That someone who created Boko Haram is still campaigning for Tinubu, going praising himself all around the places. There is something wrong with a black man. You understand? Something is actually wrong with us. But it's not surprising because the person in the position of president today led the coalition that imported the Fulani militia, and they confessed that they did, including the everybody said they have evidence. You understand? So I am basing on the confession of the secretary of the coalition, Kau Baraje, on his 70th birthday, who boasted that they imported these terrorists to remove Jonathan. So, looking at what is going on, these terrorists will always increase in Nigeria. They wanted to settle the terrorists they imported down. Remember what Femi Adesina was telling you? Choose between your life or your land. That was when they were pushing to settle these terrorists. But you know what? When the people refused, that is where you see the increase of attacks in Benue, in Plateau, in different places. They started moving their trucks. They will come they started infiltration. So what this man is doing is that he is launching security outposts, 20, pushing out volunteer guards, buying guns for them, mounting CCTV cameras. I know it requires money, but that is what you should use church money to do. Okay? That is what you should use church money to do. Nothing else. Church money at this moment should not be used to build mansions and build whatever. Invest it in security. Because time will come that your big mansion will be bombed down by Boko Haram. Churches will be burned down. Churches will be brought down. This is not wishing it. This is not becoming a prophet of doom, telling you that bad thing is going to happen. I am telling you what the terrorists have promised to do based on what they have done in the past, what they are doing now, and what they are going to do in the future. You see, sometimes people always tell me, Kocha, what are you saying about 2027, this, and that? I used to tell people that I am less interested in 2027. But removing Tinubu from office Even though someone who is going to enter will not change the situation if the current structure of Nigeria remains the same. But I still believe that removing Tinubu is a counter-terrorism, not just political. It's a counter-terrorism because everybody around him, whether they are telling him lies or this and that, they are sympathizers of terrorism. Imagine a minister of defense state, Bendo Matawande, telling Nigerians that listen, this insecurity will never end. It is only God, only Allah that can make it to end. That is what your minister of defense is saying. And you people don't think. You should ask question, why is this man making this statement? Because he knows something that you don't know. Because this insecurity, as far as Coach Happy Masa is concerned, it is religious. Yeah, it is religious. Boko Haram is fighting a religious war. This are the mission statement where that man, that their former commander, was reading out the book. Go and search for the video. Just type "the war is against Christian." Boko Haram said in the video. Type it on YouTube and watch the video I'm talking about. They said the war is against Christians. So it is you that is trying to deceive yourself that the war is not religious or it's not this or it's not that. But what El-Buba is doing is what everybody should do. Now, for you to understand more details of this, he is the founder of the church. The name of the church is Evangelical Biblical Outreach Ministry International, or in acronym, EBONI, in Plateau State. Prophet Issa El-Buba has inaugurated more than 20 security outposts for volunteer guards under the Peace Ambassadors Joint Task Force, while also unveiling the installation of closed-circuit television CCTV cameras across Jos North local government area to strengthen surveillance and curb criminal activities. The inauguration ceremony held on Thursday, 30th July 2026. That was last week, okay? Also witnessed the deployment of 10 branded security motorcycles to improve the mobility and rapid response capacity of the volunteer guards operating across identified security flashpoints within the Jos North. Let me stop the article here. May God bless this man. Kudos. Like, this is an example. He's setting an example for other pastors, for other churches. You know, at the time, we have been advocating about this gun revolution, churches to map out security, this and that. See, it will cost you less to do the same thing Issa El-Buba has done than for you to pay ransom or for you to lose souls. It will cost you less to map out these security things. The Boko Harams are not playing. The Fulani militias are not playing. The ISWAP, Nakurawa, Mahmuda, they are not playing with their Sharia implementation. And they are doing it through jihad. They are doing it through clearing out people who are on the road, who are challenging them. So you must be able to understand where we are today as a nation. You must be able to understand what we are going through. Don't stay on the fence. They will push you down from that fence. You need to be real. Be real and know that we are at war. So this is what is going on, and I really appreciate what this man has done.
I need to take you up on that.
Let me give you a perspective.
Yes.
The state government or the governors can actually give lands for ranches, but is the federal government also concerned about the kind of consultations that may have gone on between the state government and the people living in those communities who have ancestral attachment to those plot of lands?
Ancestral attachment? You can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? Ancestral attachment? You can only have attachment when you are alive. If you are talking of ancestral attachment, if you are dead, what does the attachment matter? What does it matter again? The National Economic Council that recommended ranching went around those states. It didn't just legislate it, there were consultations. So, if a state does not have land genuinely, it's understood. Not every state will have ranches. You don't have to have ranches in 36 states. So, if there's no land genuinely, fine. But where you have land and you can do something, please do for peace. What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day? What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day. What will the land be used for if those who own it are dead at the end of the day?
Now,
So,
talk again, going back to ranching and cattle colonies, we know that still going back to international conversations, the United Kingdom and even the World Bank have come out to say that Nigerian government has not yet asked for support from the Commonwealth nations, and that if they did, there are a litany of investments and ideas and people who could actually help in this area of solving the issue of ranching or cattle colonies, and they would do it willingly to see that the violence abates. But then how do we bring together the warring factions, whether be it those people who claim they have the land rights and those people who feel that they are marginalized even though they are indigents and have resided there for decades, which is one of the key points Mieti Allah made here the other day. And the issues of castle rustling as well is part of the issue of the violence. It's not just the killing of the herders, of the farmers. How do communities begin to look at dispensing ethnocentric sentiments towards the issue of land and border rights, Mr. Femi, especially through the state government?
that is why you have community leaders. That is why you have traditional rulers. That is why you have local government chairmen. That is why you have states. These things must come up from there. But rather what we see is they are saying, federal government, come and do it. Federal government is so far from those places.
But is there any interaction between the federal and state government concerning what they are doing to resolve these primary core issues that are causing and stoking this ember of?
Yes, I just said it. The National Economic Council set up committees that went around the states, led by Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State. It went around all the states.
Unfortunately, we have to. I was going to ask you when the federal government will perhaps, maybe the president will perhaps give the go-ahead to the Inspector General of Police to reveal those politicians that are sponsoring the killings across the country.
And yes, I think the statement on community dialogue and, of course, the rural elder statesmen should come together to look at issues of land rights, especially as maybe people are also afraid to give over their lands, for cohabitation, and how, overwhelming that could be over the years.
Exactly.
To come
And the
well.
indigenship and citizenship question as well.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
It's better, like somebody has said before, it's better to live on the land than to be under the land.
Under the land.
Well, Ibrahim Abdullahi is the National Assistant Secretary of the Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association. Thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
You have said that this new crisis has caught you by surprise.
Yeah, it is surprising because we thought people will learn lesson.
You said you thought they would learn lessons, and you said that these lessons were rooted in the 2011 crisis.
Exactly.
You also allege that this, people are coming from the outside.
Yeah, and this is why. The recent crisis started in a village called Ninte. A farmer.
Not Godogodo.
Ninte, yeah, in Godogodo Chiefdom. The village, the actual village is Ninte.
Okay.
In Godogodo Chiefdom. What really happened was that a farmer decided to go and farm along the stock routes, or to block the stock routes. And these stock routes were not even local stock routes, international stock routes. You know that a cow is just like water. If you build your house along the passage point, when there is flooding, you know what will happen. That water will not just go around because your house is there. It will just take out your house. The same thing, we have well-established, well-documented stock routes that have traversed the entire African continent. You can start from the Central African Republic, crossing Cameroon, Nigeria, into Benin Republic without even asking the cow, without even going in front of the cows. You just follow them, they will take you there. So a farmer decided out of his, I don't know, we call it mischief or whatever, to farm in that area, and an argument ensued between him and a pastoralist who was plying that route. And it resulted into fight. 2 of them got wounded. You know, the Ardo of the area, the Fulani leader of the area, took 2 of them to the hospital and paid the bills. When these stories spread, some youths within Ninte decided to retaliate. They killed that Ardo. They set him ablaze. They burned about 76, nomadic settlements. And that was the beginning of this crisis. So what we are saying is that we did not learn any lesson. Afterwards, people started blocking roads, killing people. People started blocking international stock routes. While we were trying to resolve 2011 crisis, appealing to those people that were affected, you are killing more people, That's why I said we have not learned any lesson from 2011.
So you do believe that there has been some quarrel, and that is what is at the bottom of this particular crisis?
Of course.
Allah ba da sa'a. Allah ta yayi. Say good luck. Say good luck. La ilaha illallah. Say good luck. Say good luck. Guys, that's